Hey everyone, welcome to Science-Based Fitness. My name is Adam. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're covering some of the tips you might hear in the gym that are either based on science or maybe just BS. We're going to talk about that right now. So I wore my Season's greeting shirts. It's a bunch of gingerbread cookies that are actually all the Avenger characters. I think it's awesome. Anyway. First, we're going to start out with a few tips that have some scientific backing, and the first one is going to be the muscle-to-mind connection. We can improve our muscle-to-mind connection by simply cueing and focusing on the contraction of the muscle, squeezing the muscle at the top for a bicep curl, for example, and research shows that this can increase hypertrophy. It might not be much, but it is a slight improvement. Along with other exercises like a single-arm lat pull-down, prodding that muscle throughout the pulling motion is a good way to focus on increasing that muscle contraction. Another place I like to use this is with a hip thrust or maybe just a hip bridge. If you're struggling with activating the glutes, simply poking at those glute muscles throughout the movement can help activate those muscles a little bit more. The next tip is using straps. They are an effective tool to use in the gym, and they're just that, they're a tool. You don't have to use them on every set you do, but as you lift heavy closer to failure, you can overload the movement much better using straps. So don't be afraid of them, and if you are slightly afraid of losing some strength in your forearms, mix in a couple extra additional sets of isolation training for the forearms, and you'll be fine. But the overall benefit you'll get from using the straps, being able to push harder on back movements, definitely outweigh the cons. Next is adjusting your tempo. If you're someone who just rips through an exercise as fast as you can, you might be leaving some of your gains on the floor, on the exercise machine, whatever. When controlling the eccentric portion of the lift, you can experience more hypertrophy, but maybe your goal isn't just hypertrophy. Maybe you're an athlete or trying to get faster or stronger. Using some explosive concentric portions to your lift can also be beneficial when it comes to strength and sports specificity. I'll link some more research on tempo down below if you guys are interested. Now this next trick and tip kind of correspond, so I'm going to put them right together here. And the first is drop sets. If you're unfamiliar with drop sets, what you do is put a specific amount of weight on whatever the exercise is. You proceed to rep it out, getting close to failure. You follow that up with lightening the weight and immediately going right back to the exercise. You can repeat this as many times as you want. This increases metabolic fatigue and totally destroys the muscle. And personally, I recommend doing this at the end of your workouts because it's extremely taxing and it takes a long time to recover from. But what this does is it kind of corresponds into our next tip, and that's that our workouts don't have to be hours long. We can use tricks like drop sets to help condense our overall workout time. I'll always have one or two workouts that might only be a half hour throughout the week, but I'll use drop sets and I'll use supersets and different tricks to help speed up my workout where I still can hit one or two major muscles and not negatively affect my recovery time or anything between sets. So there's a lot of tools out there. If you guys are unfamiliar, I'm gonna link a video at the end of this one on different methods that you can use to kind of increase the speed of your workout so you're not there all day. Now on the other side of this coin, there's a lot of tips and tricks you might hear that really aren't based on science or reality, and I'm gonna cover some of those right now, starting off with avoiding full range of motion on exercises. A good example of this is the bench press. Now, if you're someone that's dealing with an injury, that is a separate conversation. But stopping a bench press before getting a quality stretch on the chest is limiting the time under tension, it's limiting the stretch that the muscle will experience, and we know that stretch can have a significant role on hypertrophy. If you are someone that is afraid of using full range of motion, try using a machine or even lightening the weight. There's no reason you have to jump right into it if you're doing half a range of motion. Good, moving on. Changing up your exercises constantly. There's no need to constantly change the exercise you do for each muscle group every single workout. What I like to do is have one or two main foundational exercises that I mix in pretty frequently. For example, let's say we're talking about trying to grow your legs. And two foundational exercises I will use every workout will be leg extensions and hamstring curls. These two exercises do a good job of isolating the muscle and allowing me to focus on a contraction in the desired area. From here, I'm still mixing in my squats at the beginning of the workout, and then on a day where I do more volume, I'll hit things like lunges or a split squat. I'll still mix in RDLs or maybe reverse Nordics, but there's no need to constantly change every single exercise you do, every single workout. Try to find a few foundational movements you enjoy doing, and if you're struggling with understanding what makes an exercise a good exercise to select, guess what? I have a video on my channel about that. You can check that out after this one. But moving to the next bad tip you might hear a lot is turning muscle into fat. No, I said that backwards. Turning fat into muscle. This is a topic I broke down in my myths video before, and this just simply isn't how it works. People like to try to target specific areas, let's say the belly, because that's one of the most common areas, especially in men. We try to target this excess fat by doing crunches, but that's not how fat works. It doesn't just get to transfer from the fat into the muscle here. It doesn't just go down. It has to be metabolized in our fat and then sent through our bloodstream, and then it can be utilized. But it's not just one specific muscle, it's our whole body. This concept is something that you might hear a lot, but it's not really based in reality. Avoid cardio when trying to build muscle. Now, this one needs a little bit more context, because if you are doing extremely taxing forms of cardio, like some high intensity sprints or any super long, hard durations of cardio, it will limit your ability to build muscle because you're going to be extremely taxed. Intense bouts of cardio can lead to spikes in cortisol, which can make it more difficult to build muscle. But it also utilizes the body's energy that was going to be used for weight training, which in turn can lessen your muscle's ability to push hard. Which is why you'll often hear people say you should choose whatever's more important and prioritize that first when it comes to cardio or weight. If you want bigger muscles, do your weights first. If you are going to do more high intense cardio sessions, split them up from the days you do your actual weight training, your resistance training, because that seems to yield the best results. You still can do cardio like right before a workout, but keep it to a more controlled, lower intensity cardio session, and you'll still be able to build muscle. But I wouldn't completely avoid cardio because it still has a lot of cardiovascular benefits that we shouldn't overlook just because we're focusing on building muscle. And the last one here is that using lighter weights won't specifically tone your muscle. This is kind of a misconception that's always been taught in fitness for years, and still a lot of people believe this when they come into the gym. When people talk about toned muscles, they want what you can see on screen here. This person looks this way because their body fat percentage has been reduced to a point where their muscles pop through the skin more. If you're someone with 15% body fat and you want to look more toned, you're going to accomplish this not by using lighter weights, but by reducing your body fat percentage down to 12 or 10% to a point where you can see those muscles flare out a little bit more and be more toned. Same thing for anyone that's 30% body fat and you're looking to reduce that. In order to be more toned, you have to reduce body fat percentage, and this is just a simple weight loss phase. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're someone that's looking for a hypertrophy program and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg, if you head over to my website, link in the description, I do have a pretty basic 1 month long hypertrophy program. You can buy any individual muscle group or you can buy them all together. I think it's worth it, so you guys can check that out. If not, these two videos up here I talked about earlier. These are the topics you should click on and check out. So head over there, check that out. If not, like this video, subscribe to the channel. You know the drill. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.